Hi there, fire signs. It's Jen here. This is your reading for the full blue moon in Taurus on October 31st, on Halloween, on Samhain. So that's pretty exciting. I feel as though this will be a pretty intense and cathartic full moon for people. So it's in the fixed earth sign of Taurus, and the sun is will be in the fixed water sign of Scorpio. And right before this full moon, this blue moon, the second full moon of October, Libra on the 28th, I didn't write it down, on the 28th moves into the sign of, Venus moves into the sign of Libra on the 28th. So we have sensual, tactile Taurus that's ruled by Venus. We have the intimate, sexual, deep emotion, transformative, fixed water sign of Scorpio. And then we have Libra, who's also ruled by Venus. Venus going into Libra on the 28th, right before this. And Libra very much wants to be a couple. So for me, look at my beautiful rough moonstone. I love it. And I have a smooth one too. I like both equally. I don't mind my polished stones and my rough moonstone. Okay. I really feel as though I wrote the word crescendo. I wasn't getting a whole lot meditating before channeling, so I'll see how it comes out now. But I see a lot of really deep, intimate conversations that will either bring people together to couple. I feel there's a strong need to define relationships, and it'll be sort of a coming together or breaking apart. One way or the other, things will come to a head, and something will need to happen again, either growing deeper or, this isn't going to work. And could be a blow up. I mean, Scorpio in its negative can be pretty intense and stubborn, and so can Taurus. That's just by nature of being a fixed sign. And cardinal air, Libra, is like, let's talk this out, let's figure this out, let's make a deal, and let's move forward one way or the other. In Libra's negative, they can be analysis paralysis, but this full moon's going to bring things to a head, I feel. So, should I stay or should I go keeps coming up. Should I stay or should I go? Okay, let's look at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, Knight of Swords, change of thinking. This is for me, knights are the most amount of energy of whatever suit they're in. So this is tons of air energy. This is cardinal air for me. This is, come on, let's talk about it. Let's think about it. Let's figure out what we think about it and move on. I want to move forward. That's what cardinal sign they want. They want to move. They want to make things happen. They want to push forward. Now, Libra can be a bit codependent because they're so brilliantly able to see both sides of an argument, of a situation, both people's views, where they're coming from. They can sometimes they can understand it so well, they can disregard or downplay or justify. Oh, I'm watching that show, Justify. I like that show. It's violent, though. I'm not, but I really like it. Okay, sorry, little aside. Yeah, they can rationalize and justify and allow toxic behavior to go on. Codependent. So, but I see again things coming to a head. So you could have a shift. Okay, so the other thing I feel like, because with this fixed earth and fixed water, you have I don't want to change. I don't want to change. I don't want to change. That fixed energy. But I really feel with the full moon that things, because they're going to come to a head, change will have to happen. And it may be that there's been a lot of tension. I think of Scorpio as having a lot of tension. So you get Taurus that can be more almost physically not budging, but not really necessarily engaging. Whereas Scorpio will be like, let's talk about this. I'm hurting. I want to know what's going on. I want to talk about things. I want intimacy. And just sort of, you can see how there's a bit of conflict because the earth signs don't necessarily, they want to show more. And Scorpio wants to share more, and Taurus doesn't necessarily. So this is not, you can be like, I'm a Taurus and Taurus rising, and I'm not like that. We're just talking in generalizations to try to get an idea of the main energy, certainly not all the energy. And I can see really intense pillow talks. I can see fighting and makeup sex, but ultimately I see some sort of decision, things coming to a head, and things have to change. We either need to even more solidify our relationship. So, oh, look at that. We have the Scorpio death card. So, what are we going to do? Are we officially boyfriend and girlfriend, or boyfriend and boyfriend, whatever, together? Are we let's move in together. I want to get engaged. Like, things need to move forward somehow, whatever that means for you. And things have to transform. Things have to change. They can't stay the way they are. So the one time I said the worm, turns into the butterfly. And my son was looking at me like I was crazy, which he does a lot because I am crazy. But he's like, a worm? I'm like, yeah, worms turn into butterfly. What are you talking about? He's like, worm? And I'm like, oh my God. Not a worm, a caterpillar. So now every time I use this example, I think of myself saying a worm turns into a butterfly. The caterpillar turns into the butterfly. It's never the caterpillar again. It's still the same being. So there's a transformation in some part of your life. Taurus for me really rules the home. Virgo does. All the earth signs do, but Virgo does too. But Taurus, because it's like, where do you put down your roots? Where are you going to fix? Where are you going to settle down? So things like that, you may be deciding on some sort of physical change. Yeah, we have this change factor coming in with this blue moon. There's some with Scorpio and the death card that is the card that represents Scorpio in the tarot deck. It's interesting too with it being on Halloween, right? With the veil thin. You could, wow, ooh, I just got the tingles. If you have someone that's passed and you feel like I'm getting so many chills. You feel like they're around, or they're leaving. There are symbols or songs that are coming up, things. It is them, if you believe in that. It is them communicating with you. Yeah. Wow, Ace of Pentacles, here we go. And this is the fixed earth sign of Taurus changing. Here's a new beginning. Here's a new, right? This is the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Earth. We're going to change where we live. And I'm saying, it's interesting, I'm saying we, because I do feel like there's someone else. Doesn't have to be. But here's a new way of earning money. Here's a new way of settling down. Where do you live? Who do you live with? Making room for someone if your relationship moves to you two living together or buying a house or something. Or if you go apart, because it definitely could be a blow up too. Scorpio is very intense and very dramatic sometimes if things are going south. And Taurus can be stubborn as fuck. So they can just be infuriating because they just won't budge. And they don't even really want to talk about it. They're just like, nope. And that can be infuriating. And I have a lot of Scorpio, so I can find that infuriating. So if you break apart, this is okay. Now, if you live together, you have to figure out, new way of doing things. But for me, it's that square, the fives in the tarot, the squares in astrology, where things have to change. They couldn't stay, the status quo wasn't going to be sustainable or work for the long run. So it was time to have those conversations for things to come to that point where it's either going to move forward or end, needed to transform and change. It needed to happen sooner or later, and why not have it happen now than not be communicating and have people, the tension rise and things not really going quite as smoothly as you wanted to. Again, it could just be getting everything. Once everything kind of comes out, wow, we actually are on the same page, and I just didn't know that. And things it doesn't have to go poorly. Wow. Damn. Okay. Pregnancy. So, yeah. Sorry. There could be something like a pregnancy that could bring things to a head. That could have, I don't want to say force things, because I don't feel like this is happening and is being forced to happen sooner than it should. I think it's needed to happen. But there could be a catalyst behind it as well. So just giving birth can be literal or a metaphor. So being pregnant. The Empress is very organic though, and she allows things she doesn't directly. She isn't like, I want you to do this, and this. She more will observe and notice people's strengths and weaknesses, and then gently guide and support behind the scenes and allow things to organically unfold. So there's that tension, right? She's a very earth empress, even though I feel like she embodies all the queens. She most, to me, goes with the Queen of Pentacles, which is that earth sign queen. But just by mere fact of there's some catalyst. Look how fruitful. Look at all the fruits on the trees. It's a very harvesty time of year, a very Halloween time of year. Yeah, so there also could be a new job. So that could be a catalyst for, okay, what's happening? Are we going to move forward together? Am I going to move forward together with something, or end it? Because death can be an ending, but it's often more just a transformation into a different path. There's going to have to be a change in thinking, communication. So I wanted to pull a few cards specifically for romance. Yeah, so someone could get a job that could require them to move, or they could work from home now, so maybe it just creates an opportunity or a reason that things may have to be discussed and potentially change. Because look at this Ace of Pentacles is out in the country. There's a house. This is like the sun is out. It could be a Leo. Whoops. I'll take that one. Wanted to come out. This one. What else is going on for the fire signs for this full moon in Taurus on Halloween? You could find out that someone else you know is pregnant. It doesn't have to be happening to you or in your with you or your partner. It could be you want to get pregnant or your partner wants to get pregnant, and that could, maybe the other person is not sure it's the right time, or if maybe you haven't had that discussion before about children, and it doesn't, no one's pregnant, but it forces I hate to say force, but it does, it sets it up so that this has to be addressed. Maybe there was a near miss or a pregnancy scare or something. I hate to say scare too, but if you weren't planning it, it could be a scare. It can be. And so it forces that conversation to happen, and things are revealed, and it's like, whoa, I didn't know you thought that way. So here's the Page of Swords. So a lot of communication. The swords are really all up in people's backsides. So if there's, again, I think couples are very much highlighted. Intimate relationships are very much highlighted around this full moon. And so this Knight of Swords, this could be a lot of texting, a lot of sexting. Maybe they really like your booty. But it's communication. You could meet online if there's someone new coming in. New communication, new beginnings, and how and what you talk about, and discussing things if you're already with someone, or if you could meet someone that really transforms your life, and it's sort of a one of those meetings where you just there's a connection immediately. So the Nine of Pentacles, this is knowing. For me, she knows her worth. This Nine of Pentacles can take care of themselves. They can handle their own. It is for me a Taurus energy, an Earth energy, in the sense that they can practically handle their own lives. They don't feel any sort of need to be in a relationship, because they don't. There are lots of reasons why people feel like they need to be coupled or with someone. It can be, oh, if I'm with someone, it's going to check some box and make me happy. This person's going to fulfill something missing in my life. Financially, it's a lot easier, usually, if you're with someone. It's socially more acceptable to be with someone. There's something wrong with you if you're not. It's from society. But this Nine of Pentacles card knows, no, I can get my own loan, buy my own car, clean my own house, shop, pay my bills, keep a job. Like, I can do I can do all of that. I'm sorry. I can handle it. And I don't feel the some sort of underlying neediness uh, that's around being in a couple, because I'm not, I can be alone and not be lonely. I can just, there's a confidence that comes from that. And so if you've been in that situation, if you are dating again, you don't, there's no desperation, there's no underlying undercurrent of trying to um, force things. Here's this word force. So it's like both things. Some things are going to be forced, and some things I'm not going to force it. It's if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Wow, the sun. So Leo again. I picked up on the sun and this Ace of Pentacles right above here. But what is this about? Even though it's Leo, which is the fixed fire sign. So these fixed signs are coming out and playing a role. It's very sexual and virile and um, uh, physical. Taurus is very physical. Can't keep your hands off of each other. Very passionate. Very passionate, which can also go with that Scorpio. Scorpio is extremely passionate and intense. Physical. So lots of physical. Taurus is very tactile, right? I already said that. I just say that. Seven of Pentacles. So this is very interesting to me because this is that energy of should I stay or should I go? The Seven of Pentacles is trying to decide. And sometimes these cards have more than two people in it, or just one person, and all of these have two people. There's no competing, third-party situations or whatever. It's two people together. So the Seven of Pentacles it's about patience, but it's about weighing that. How do you figure out how long you wait versus when to should I stay or should I go? Is this going to work? Is this not? How do you? It can be really obvious if you're baking cookies. The recipe will tell you, and you can see if they're underdone or overdone. It's much easier than a relationship. How much more time do I put into this relationship to know for sure? Am I seeing red flags? Am I ignoring red flags? Am I, how much am I going to invest? Is it time to move it to the next level? It's not so clear when it comes with a lot of things in life. So it's a little bit, maybe that's been going on, a little bit of that Libra analysis paralysis. But now with this full moon, again, that crescendo, it's coming to a point where it's coming to the forefront, and it's either going to just transform and deepen, or it may be I'm going to break out on my own. And I don't, sometimes you realize you don't really, you want to be with someone that you like who you are when you're with them as well. There's some sort of that aspect. Do you like who you are when you're with them? Do you feel like you get to do, obviously we all have to compromise, but do you still get to do most of the things that make your life worth living, that you enjoy, or have you had to transform in a not so great way because maybe you're very active and the person you're with is very homebody and is more passive and isn't as, doesn't like to do things as much. You have to think about that. Sometimes the other way, sometimes you could be more of that homebody, and the person you're with could motivate you to get up and do things. So that might be, oh, I really like who I am with this person because it takes me out of my comfort zone and I find I really enjoy these things. So those are the types of big overall questions. I think I definitely see a lot of intimate pillow talk that may be illuminating and help to tease some of this out. Okay. Thank you, fire signs. Happy Halloween. Happy Samhain. Happy full moon. And the November videos are done. I did them, finished them yesterday, so they'll be posted pretty soon here. Take care. Bye.